Well, hello out there, and welcome to. I forgot her name. Let's restart.
I almost said two dudes on the radio
So
in
did
my head.
I almost said it too, and I was like, wait,
Shoot,
that's not right. Darn.
what's wrong with us?
All right. Hello out there, and welcome to Small Beards and Big Opinions.
Where the world is crazy, but luckily, so are we.
My name is Eddie Boyce.
And I'm Shaner,
Welcome back, everyone, to Bops and B-movies.
your
Woo!
second favorite show.
Second favorite? What if it's people's first favorite?
Obviously, the informational episodes.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, no, the history and hypotheticals is
Yeah,
pretty banger of a series if I say so myself.
I think it's great.
Yeah, you guys should go back and listen to the interview we did with all Zach from all the EDM. You should do that.
It's a great interview. You can learn about Patrick.
Yeah. Yes, Patrick. Go learn about Patrick. We like Patrick. Anyway, so Shaner, how you want to start with the music? Well, actually, do we have anything else to talk about? I feel like we're just jumping in really quickly. I usually have stuff to say, but oh my gosh, I completely forgot. Hold on.
Hit us. Hit us with
Shaner,
whatever you forgot.
we have hit, I don't know the exact number on me. I should look it up, but we have over 500 views on our YouTube channel.
500
Yes,
views.
we've hit over
Holy
500
cow.
views. The official number is like 545 at this point or something. I forget. I'll post it on social media. You'll see it before.
That's insane.
Yeah. So thank you everyone for sticking with us.
Yeah, thanks for viewing our videos.
Yeah, it's been a pleasure and excited. Yay to another 500.
Another 500.
Woo! Anyways, okay. Anything else, Shana, before we jump in?
No, I don't think so.
All right, cool. Let's just get into it. Nice and quick.
We're jumping in.
First part of our series, of course, Bops, where we go over music that we've been listening to for the past, I guess, 3 weeks is last time. Sorry,
yeah, 3
weeks,
weeks, I guess.
It's been a while, but since we last did this show. So, Shanner, why don't you hit them? Tell us, what have you been listening to?
So I haven't found much new music well, I haven't found a lot new in terms of music. But mostly I've been revisiting. I don't think I ever talked about it before. An artist named Will Wood.
Sure.
I think his full band name is Will Wood and the Tapeworms.
Oh.
And it's it's better than it sounds. He's got a really odd sense of music. His latest album, which is the one I've been revisiting a lot, was called the Normal Album, and it's anything but normal, which I think is the irony in his title.
Sure.
And the only way I've ever seen it described that I think is perfectly accurate is it's like the music from a Broadway stage production about a man with like several mental illnesses, like schizophrenia and stuff. It's just crazy and insane. Each song's different, but there's some where it's quiet and slow. There's one where it's that actually sounds like a Broadway stage production about death and what it means to die. He deals with some serious topics. There's one talking about using drugs to numb like pain and stuff. This makes it sound super serious, but each song is its own kind of crazy, wild production almost.
Sure.
So it's really good. It's fun to listen to, and it's fun to get I like music that overwhelms almost, where you get to a certain point in the song where there's just so many instruments happening and the singing is all over the place, and you imagine it almost like enveloping you and you can't focus on anything else. You know what I mean? I'm trying to think of the best way to describe that.
I'm going to make fun of you for a second.
No, go ahead.
So, like, you say it's like
what's
fun
changed?
To listen to, and you talk about how it's like, oh yeah, health problems.
That's the thing. Is it's drugs, the issues he talks about are so like heavy and stuff. But they're so much fun to listen to because they are so upbeat and catchy. You've seen that genre before where it's like super sad, super serious, heavy topics, but the music is catchy and upbeat and nothing like it should be for what they're talking about?
Yes, there's a lot of songs like that.
Exactly. So this falls under that category where the music and the lyrics don't match, but I kind of love it.
Is it like on purpose? Like, is it to demonstrate something?
I don't know all the story behind it. I can just tell you what I'm gleaming from listening to it. If you want a couple of choices to see what I'm talking about, uh, Love Me Normally, great one. That's one where it slowly builds into this huge dramatic chorus. It's almost comes off like a live show, even though it's a recorded
Sure.
song. Um, and each title is really weird. There's Memento Mori, Remember You Will Die. That's the one that sounds like a Broadway stage production.
Uh-huh.
There's Well Better Than the Alternative, which is my other personal favorite. Um, and the most complicated one that it's hard to pronounce all out loud, and it's called Marcia. Thank you for the dialectics, but I think you should leave.
Oh, nice.
That is my favorite one because it's almost, I can't think of ways to describe it because I don't know music things like Zach, the guy we interviewed last time, for those
Sure.
that didn't watch it. But it's almost like the music pushes you forward listening to it. Like it's not a slow building song.
Sure.
It's like the music is a train and you're riding on the train, and
Okay.
it's just got this pounding beat that drives the song forward, and you can't help but really get into it
Sure. Okay.
as it goes. But again, it's this super heavy topical song about like using drugs versus before we had like antidepressants and stuff like that. What's better, just accepting your depression or dealing with it with medicine? So it's a super serious song, but you almost forget that listening to the beat and the way he's singing it. I probably sound like a deranged person trying to describe that,
I
but
mean,
it's a unique genre I've never heard before. I don't
is
remember
it
how I stumbled upon it.
so by genre? Like, describe some of the sounds. Is this like alternative? Is this like electronic? Is this like a mesh of like I don't know what this is?
I would put it under, I can't even describe it with genre. Like I said, the best way I've ever seen it described is it's almost bordering on being like Broadway style play music.
Oh, okay,
But it's, yeah, that's about it. It maybe you may be able to put it under punk, but I doubt it. I'm not good at genres. Sometimes, like obviously, I know what jazz
sure.
is or like what rock and roll is, but some of those other genres, like I know Bowling for Soup's one of the bands I talked about, and I know they're punk. That's only because I've seen people talk about how that's what they are, or like pop. But this one, I can't describe it. You just have to listen to a couple of the songs and feel out what it is. It's
Okay,
super odd, but it captured my attention, and I've listened to most of the songs I described at least a dozen times, probably.
okay, all right.
But other than
Interesting.
that, just some other normal stuff, Johnny Cash here and there, and mostly everything I talked about last time.
Sure.
But
And
now that
what?
my delusional rant's over,
Well, what? Say the name again. What were they called again?
Will Wood and the Tapeworms, and
Is that
specifically the Normal album.
specifically the Roma? Okay,
It's
all right,
called the Normal album. And it's a picture of him like leaning out a window like he's in a neighborhood.
hmm. All right.
So
I'll have to give it a listen. I'll have to give it a listen. Did you ever
yeah,
listen
it's
to the
interesting.
music I gave you last? We should have probably have talked about this earlier, but did you listen to the music I
Oh
gave you
yeah.
last time?
No, shoot. I've been meaning to for 3 weeks.
Okay, just as like a little recap,
Wait,
Shane,
oh,
not Shaner, crap, what was his name? I should have written this down beforehand, but I didn't think of it until
Ian
now.
McConnell.
Yes, Ian McConnell. That's the artist that you presented. I presented Hellfire by Black Midi.
I'm gonna
Uh,
look that up right now, so it's in my list of things I searched for on my music app.
awesome.
And then it'll appear every time I search for something.
Anyways, I listen to Ian McConnell. I listen to your feedback, Shane. I listen to the artist, not to shame you or anything.
Wow. Okay, thanks.
But he's like the def. I told you this before when I listened to him, but he's like the definition of like Gen Z mentality.
Hmm.
Like it's pretty not the sort of thing I listen to because
This will
I'm
be
a
the complete opposite of the last time. My music taste ranges depending on what mood I'm in. This
is
will
your
be
mood
completely
today?
different.
Is your mood the past few weeks drugs, Shader? Is this a cry
Yeah,
for
it's
help?
been drugs. That's my mood. Happy, sad, drugs.
But driven by a train and kept going and happy.
Yeah, so my mood is secretly doing drugs whilst being thrilled about it.
Nice, nice. A
For
willful.
my parents listening, that's not real. I don't do drugs, and I certainly wouldn't be happy about it. That's my little disclaimer because I know my dad at least listens to this.
I don't know. You might have to check on him, Mr. Shaner. What's your dad's first name? I know this. I forget.
Andy.
Andy Shaner. You should probably
Oh
check
shoot,
on
did
him.
we just reveal personal information
Oh
on the air?
no, personal info. Don't want to drop. You might as well just drop his credit card info at this rate. I mean,
Yeah, his full name is Stephen Andrew.
whoa,
Yeah, that'll fool him. We got that
whoa.
covered.
Shout out to Shaner's dad. Always commenting, always reacting. Love the
Shout
guy.
out to Eddie's dad for giving us great ideas too.
Yeah, shout out to my dad. Shout out to dads across the
Yeah,
world. No,
dads.
get them, dads. Good
Yeah.
for you.
It's not even Father's Day.
Anyways, I like that. That was a good choice. I'll definitely listen to them. All right, so oh boy, my voice. I have a cold. I'm trying to get over it, folks. So apologize if I sound like a duck sometimes.
Is your
Anyways,
music duck themed?
no, not at all. Actually, mine is. I don't know if it's definitely not along the same vein, but all right. So the album that I brought forth is Louie by Kenny Beats. So for those of you who don't know, Kenny Beats is for all intents and purposes, kind of blanket. He's a hip hop producer. He's a famous one. He kind of has built his own like brand, like his own personal brand. So he's on Twitch and stuff and streaming stuff. But he's a producer. And he's a hip hop producer. And he produced this track. Sorry, not track project. In a memory of his father, because his father is dealing with a lot of health issues right now, and so he's not going to be around forever. And so Kenny was like, "I'm going to make this this project for my dad." So little tribute project.
Oh,
yeah. So this is a 17-track project that is pretty much an instrumental project. There are some guest verses from various people, but it's pretty much an instrumental project. Feature verses, just kind of get an idea. I'm going to name these people off: JPEG Mafia, Vince Staples, Thundercat, Slow Tie, and Mac DeMarco. I hope I said those last two right. I'm not really familiar with them, but just kind of give you an idea of some of the people on here. But even though, I mean, if you know these people, you know their music, it's not a good idea what Louis is. So Louis, if I had to kind of condense it, put together, it's a lighthearted, almost hopeful instrumental project, So the whole thing's hip hop, but it's not like your trap beats where you're going around and going like boom boom and like dancing. No, it's not that sort of thing. It's more boom bap, which if you don't know, boom bap's like your 80s, 90s snare drum combo.
What's his name again? I'm gonna look it up again so I remember to actually listen to it this time.
Kenny Beats, and the project is called Louie. But yeah, it's a very lighthearted project. It starts off with a little voice memo from his father about how he got the name Louis. And from there, it just kind of goes into these different projects and kind of goes into different lighthearted ideas. It focused on this like lighthearted hope idea, but each song is, I would say, pretty unique from the rest. Like there's the general theme, but each song sounds differently. I would just listen to yourself. I mean, I don't know. Again, I'm kind of like Sheena. I don't know the names of like specific sounds, but I can get
we're
a general.
Not musicians here, folks.
Yeah, there's a general feel. I know a general feel, and it's hard to say anything else because most of the guest lyrics, I mean, they kind of have a theme together, but they kind of again tie to that general theme, and they're kind of sprinkled throughout. The features are sprinkled throughout here.
Sprinkled.
Yes, sprinkled. I think Kenny has like one or two like voice features on here, but typically it's just him doing his thing. So I would say it's not a lo-fi project, but it's lo-fi in the fact that you can put this on, listen to it, and just jam. You're just vibing, doing your work. The cover of the album kind of gives you a good idea. Like I'll describe right now, but you'll see it in the thumbnail. But it's just it's a painting It's like an oil. I think it's oil painting. I could be wrong, but it's a painting of people outside enjoying the nice spring weather. There's two people on a bench, when I'm assuming to be Kenny and his father. It's kind of reminiscent of French paintings. I'm not again an art person, but I look at that and I think of that. And there's flower petals blowing the breeze. And then the painting's like, I guess, like a third in the middle, and then the rest is like a white box, and then like Louis at the top. So I would say the cover of the album gives a good idea of what this album is. But yeah, so some of my favorite tracks uh, are "Hold My Head," "Still," and then "Mar." So those are my three favorite tracks on this project. So if you want to throw on something, and you're not like a huge hip hop person, but you can get down with some lo-fi or some boom bap stuff, I would totally check this out. It's a really clean project. Just throw it on while you're working. You don't have to put much thought into it. Just enjoy it, for what it is. Go sit outside and listen to it, whatever. Yeah, that's all I got for that.
That sounds pretty good. Maybe I will put it on while I'm working.
Yeah, I know you're not like a hip hop person, Shaner.
No, but
but
instrumental sounds good.
yeah, and like I said, it's just like lighthearted. Yeah, and
I
boom
will
bap
give
stuff.
it
So
a
it's not
try.
hard. You just kind of do your thing, listen to it. I listen to the car drives. I put it on. Most of my music I listen in the car, but this one you can put on while doing work and not get distracted. So good for that. Oh, I guess something I should say. So I know I said lo-fi. It's the beats are a lot more complicated than just your normal lo-fi tracks where you got like, I don't know, like a flute, some piano,
Yeah,
some
no
trap beats
piano in
underneath
this.
it. There's some piano, but there's a lot more complexity with the music. It's not
Oh,
just your
okay.
like 5-piece lo-fi generic track.
I
They're
see.
a lot more complex than that. So, anyways, let me throw that in there. Yeah, that's all I got. Louis by Kenny Beats, and that came out like a week or two ago. So
Oh, wow, that's new.
yeah. Well, I try to bring fresh projects, unlike you and Shaner. When did Normal come out for the Tapeworm Boys?
Let me see. Let me use the power of the internet here. I think it's fairly new.
Internet.
Let's see. Do. The answer is actually I take that back. It was fairly recent, July 10th of 2020.
That's not too outrageous. That's not bad. Wait, 2020?
2020. So about 2 years
Oh,
ago. So recent
2 years
enough
old.
compared to my other stuff I talked about before.
Sure. Okay, that's fair. Uh,
So
oh, before I forget, shout out to Theory Has Its Lo-Fi project, Low Key Lo-Fi. I was gonna originally do that one, but then the K Beats album came out. I liked that one better, but I like this Lo-Fi tape that Theory Has It did too. So you should go check that out too. Low Key Lo-Fi. Okay, I'm done. So you all out there, go listen to those albums and get back to us. Let us know what you think.
yeah, if you don't let us know what you think, you know it's gonna happen.
Okay, Shaner. All right,
Here
what's
we
gonna
go.
happen? What are we doing? What's going on?
I'm going to go to this now. This one, keep in mind, this threat only applies to people that have basements. So if you don't have a basement, finished or otherwise, you're safe.
Oh, okay,
So
cool.
I'm going to go to the store and I'm going to buy as much milk as they will let me. Then
Oh,
I'm going to go to each of your basements and I'm just going to pour milk over everything. And I'm going to fill your basement 2 inches deep in milk.
oh,
And then I'm going to go up to the door that leads into your basement, go outside and seal it shut with concrete.
oh.
Then you'll want to get into your basement, but you can't. And when you finally do, rotting milk everywhere. Then you have to clean up the solid, chunky, rotting milk in your basement and maybe replace all your stuff that's down there.
What type of milk?
Whole,
Oh, whole milk. Okay, all
the
right.
most whole of milk, maybe buttermilk if I'm feeling,
What
really
about
adventurous.
what about heavy cream?
You're right. I've changed my mind. Anyone who doesn't comment is getting their basement filled with, 3 inches, three
Oh,
inches of heavy
wow.
cream, and then getting your basement sealed off.
Feeling proactive today.
Yep, it's going to be a lot of heavy cream, but you know what? Worth it. Well, hopefully I shouldn't need that much heavy cream because everyone's going to comment. So hopefully I won't need any heavy cream, but I don't make the rules. I just obey them.
You know what else is kind of like curdling milk? This B movie that we
Oh,
watched.
this B movie could
Oh,
curdle milk.
well, okay, it wasn't that bad, but it's like
Oh, it
almost
was.
curdled milk.
I have so many things to say about this
Okay,
movie.
they're called B movies for a reason, folks, and this one's called a B movie, definitely. The movie we watched was Zombie Ninjas versus Black Ops,
Oh yeah.
found on Amazon Prime.
With a title like that, how could you lose? I'll tell you how.
Listen. I liked the movie a little bit better than Shaner. I think this movie had potential and has like a wee. There's moments. There's little moments that are like, you know what? This is kind of fun to
I
watch.
want you to tell me what those moments are because
All right, sure. All right, we will. But first, this is not a good movie. Like
no,
this overall, I would not
it's not
recommend
even a good
this.
B movie. Like some B movies I can recommend just
Well,
for fun.
right. See, this one has some redeeming qualities. There are certain things that are
No, it
redeeming.
doesn't.
If you can get past the really bad parts, you might somewhat enjoy it.
Yeah, if you can get
Eh.
past the whole thing, you can enjoy it.
All right. So apparently you just hate it. All right, fine, Shaner. I at
Yeah.
least tried to like this. I really
Oh, I
wanted to
tried
like
to
this.
like it, but I didn't.
All right. So do you want to give them the short spark notes of the plot?
Yeah, so the plot is there's this guy who comes in for a job interview at a security company called something like Tai Mei or something like that. It's Japanese.
It's called I'm gonna
Just
Saisei
go ahead.
Security. It's
Yeah,
S
that's
A
it. I was
I
close.
S E I.
Yeah, I think Saisei is correct. We don't have the correct, accent to do that. So just bear with us. And while he's in there getting his job interview done, the building gets attacked by ninja zombies. And to counteract this, a, a police organization that looks way too sketchy to be the police sends in 6 or 7 highly trained officers to take out the ninja zombies and to take out the head scientist responsible. And the rest of the movie is the guy getting a job interview, trying to escape, whilst also trying to fight the zombie ninjas. And that's about it.
Yeah, pretty much.
And
How much of
wow,
the movie? Like an hour and 45 minutes, something like
it's
that.
about an hour and a half without the ads.
Yeah, so it's not like it's this 2 hour slog, but
That was way too long. That could have been done in like less than an hour.
well,
A
do you
tight
want to?
45.
That's fair. The dialogue really makes this movie drag, but I'll get into
The
that later.
fight scenes make this movie drag. They're way too long.
Ooh, see, I slightly disagree, but Shanner, do you want to give them any of your good
Okay,
comments about this movie?
good
Yeah,
comments about this
yeah.
movie.
Let's get the good ones out of the way.
All right, let's see. The cinematography wasn't bad. This movie looked halfway decent. It had a different feel than like Sniper Corpse from last episode, where
Yeah,
that felt like it was filmed on an iPhone. This looked like some decent quality went into the budget. The costuming and sets were good. It actually felt like we were in an office building, and I'm pretty sure they filmed in an office building. So it wasn't like they tried to make their house seem like one. So let's just wrap this all up. The production value was good. Um,
I would
and
agree. I'm going to cut in for a second
yeah,
since we're
yeah, hit
talking
me.
about it. Yeah, I thought the production value was good. They really liked the shaky camera view a
Yeah, I
little
did
too
not.
much,
Mm-hmm.
but I thought the lighting was solid. I
Yeah.
thought the quality was good. So
And the
yeah,
zombies aren't half bad either, like for being what they were. Now, granted, you couldn't see them half the time, but the effects on the zombies, the glowing red eyes and stuff, were pretty decent for a B movie.
I really liked the zombie ninjas, even though they're not zombie ninjas.
They don't make any sense in principle, but
No,
beyond that, yeah, you could have slapped anything in there. They could have been just undead ninjas.
yeah, I liked the zombie ninjas. I think they're incorrectly labeled. I think you could have called them reanimated
Hmm.
super soldiers. That would have been so much
Yeah,
better. Because even though they say ninja, like, yeah, okay, they're faster, they're stronger, whatever. They're not stealthy. I mean, they're a
no,
little bit, but they're not really stealthy. They don't really. They throw in a ninja sword at the end,
they
but
do parkour. So
yes,
there's something like there's the
there
scene with the
is.
scaffolding where this thing leaps up 30 feet of scaffolding in three
Yeah,
seconds.
but you could just be like a well trained operative and do all that. Like, you don't have to be a
But
ninja.
here's my question about
Sure.
them, and see if you notice this. A, their bodies should be decomposing. They should not be ninjas. B, where did they get these fighting techniques? Why are they ninjas?
Whoa, right.
Why
Yeah.
don't they have guns?
Because they're ninjas.
Why?
Super soldier. I don't know. I don't have an answer.
Super soldiers,
They
give
wanted to
them a
make
gun.
zombie ninjas, so they made zombie ninjas. So
Ugh.
any other reason? I don't. I don't have one.
Let's do a quick rundown of our characters here.
Well,
Okay,
hold
get
on.
ready
I want to
for.
go
Oh,
back.
you
I want
don't
to go
want
back
to
to the zombies real quick. I was
hit me
something else I
again with
wanted to
the
talk about. Yeah,
zombies.
sorry.
No,
So
no, hit me.
yeah, they're not correctly labeled zombies. They're called zombies because they're like reanimated, but like
Hmm.
kind of what you're saying about decomposition. They should be, but like they're science experiments. So whatever plot, what's it called? Plot
Holes.
armor, plot
Plot
holes,
armor.
plot armor. Yeah. Uh, I really see. This is one of the other things. I really loved the fighting sound effects that came during this movie with the zombies. It reminded me of the Lego Star Wars fights where you just hear like
Yeah,
boom, boom, ow, ow, boom, 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 ow, ow. Like just
yeah.
the it
It
made
did
me
feel like a
laugh.
Lego Star Wars fight. Yeah.
It wasn't very realistic, but it made me laugh. So I thought it was funny. Let's see. Is there anything else I want to talk about them? So I mean, no, I think that's it about the zombie ninja. So
That's about the most
continue.
positive I can give them is their production values were decent. And I will say I looked up the trivia on this movie, and apparently the fighting styles the zombies were using, zombies, you can't see my air quotes at home, were actual real fighting styles, like they weren't just making this up.
Sure.
So in the fighting, when you could see it beyond the shaky cam, didn't look half bad. So anyways, so quick rundown of the characters.
I sorry, I'm going to interject again because I
You just
actually
don't want
like
to
the
talk about
fight.
the characters,
No,
do
no, no.
you?
We can, I want to get all the good, my good stuff out too. Since you're already talking about it, I want to comment on it too. But I like the fighting. I mean, I see your
Yeah.
point where they cut made off cuts and again the shaky camera issue. But I thought most of the fights, while a little dragged out, sometimes were good. Like I enjoyed them for the
Yeah, the
most part.
fighting was good. I just wish I could see it more.
That's fair. Yeah, that's fair. Okay. Anyways, continue characters. Go ahead, Shaner.
Yeah, let's run down the characters here. So there's the seven Black Ops operatives. They look like policemen, and they're wearing short sleeves.
Yeah.
I don't think there was anything Black Ops about these guys.
Yeah. No.
Uh, there was of the ones that survived the initial assault. Yeah, we're gonna give you spoilers. Don't watch this movie.
Yeah. We're
The
spoilers.
of the seven that go in, I think four survive. No, three.
I
Three
think.
survived the initial. Yeah, three. There's the one on the roof, and the two that survive because there's the jerk head guy,
Oh, the
and
initial
he's
fight. Yeah.
yeah. The initial fight, the ones that come out of that is there's one they send to the roof
Right.
for seemingly no reason. Uh, the head leader of the group, who's a real jerk,
Yeah.
and his buddy, who's also a jerk. So
Mm-hmm.
you got those four, no, three characters, and then you have the guy coming in for the job interview. I could not be bothered to remember his name.
Dylan.
Dylan, who uh, he looks like a typical. This is all Australian, by the way. So I'm
Yeah.
gonna guess he's not necessarily an actor, but he looks like he could be like on like The Bachelor or something. He looks like one of those guys.
Yeah.
So the lady who's giving him his job interview, um, and then you've got the lead scientist, whose name was, I actually remember this one.
Molly.
Yeah, Molly, and it was spelled
Molly.
with an A, which was weird. The head of the Black Ops soldiers who's in the van outside giving all the orders,
Yes.
and then the weird zombie with no eyes.
There's actually four of them. Did you catch that?
For zombies, yeah,
Yeah.
but the only one worth mentioning, I think, is the main one who
Oh
has no
yeah.
eyes. Oh, and the random janitor who's there for like 20 seconds.
Rip Kevin. Rip Kevin the janitor.
Kevin was a real homie.
He
And
wasn't. He just he died for no reason. He was just there for cannon
yeah,
fodder.
so I'm going to be real. When I started this movie, I did not realize until they all met up in the one scene that the police officers and Dylan and the interviewer were in the same building. I
Yeah.
thought that was two separate buildings
Yeah. So
because the beginning scene looked like a party,
yeah.
and all of a sudden we're in the same building on the same night. I did not expect that.
Yeah, we see
Um,
like three different businesses in that one building. There's like the dance hall on like the first floor, like the
yeah,
ground area. There's the high tech security place on like I don't know whatever floor that's on. You got the secret science laboratory, and then you just got plain old offices. Like it's the most diverse office building you've ever seen.
yeah. So now that we're on the stuff I didn't like about the film, I'm going to get going here unless you have anything else to say about the
So
stuff I did not like about this film.
anything else good I want to say about this movie? I thought the blood effects were decently good. There was like one
Yeah,
time where I thought they were
they aren't
but I
bad.
thought they were good throughout the movie.
Yeah, they were realistic enough.
Oh, so I don't know how you felt about like the suspense of the fights because there were like I guess two or
Okay,
three major fights that happened throughout this film. They're supposed to be like suspense, like oh no, who's gonna win? You don't know.
yeah, so I'll get into that at the end of what I thought about because I have some actual thoughts about the suspense of the fights.
Okay, I was gonna
Um,
dive into them right now if you don't mind because
let's hit them
that's
that. Yeah, let's go with them now then.
okay. I think they were all good. I think the suspense was really
Yeah.
good. I like so one of the operatives is called sorry, not operatives, black ops people. They're called Eddie.
Mm-hmm. Eddie.
And I thought his fight with was like the best because you weren't sure
Yeah.
who was gonna survive. Like he kind of stays back to like let Dylan and Molly
Yeah.
like get away safely. She thought like, oh, this is it. R.I.P. Eddie. You're gonna defend him for long. But as the fight goes on, you're like, oh wait, are they keeping him alive? Is he gonna die? He's actually
Yeah.
beating this thing. Spoiler, she dies. But it was a really cool fight, and I just thought the suspense really worked well. They really made me unsure of who was gonna win that fight.
Yeah, so that's one thing I will say about this film. Another, I guess, positive I forgot to give it is it made me feel like characters were not going to die, and then they did. Like the interviewer, I was not
Yeah.
expecting her to die that early, if at all. And the same thing with
Yeah.
what's his name at the end, the main character, Dylan. I don't know if he technically died, but I did not expect him to not make it out of there, make it out of the final fight. He gets shot twice, I think, in the chest.
Something like that, yeah.
So they actually gave me a couple things with the suspense that I did not expect them to do for such a cliched movie.
I feel
And the
bad.
ending was actually unexpected.
I feel bad like revealing that in case people want to watch it, but
Don't watch it.
yeah, I
I
mean,
told you, I already said we're giving out spoilers. So if they didn't want spoilers, they knew not to keep
no,
listening.
we did say spoilers, but like I don't know. I just like the fight's really cool. Like if you want to see it, like I wouldn't recommend it, but like if you were gonna go watch it, I'd like laugh. I wouldn't watch it with you, but like I'd laugh and say, hey, have a good time. I don't know.
Yeah, no, I
Like I'm
don't know
talking
about
about
that.
all the good parts, and I'm like, man, maybe I don't know. I keep, anyways.
I'm not changing my opinion.
That's it. That's fair. It's your opinion. But yeah, I thought the fights were really excuse me, suspenseful. That's all I got. You can get to continue.
Okay, so here we go. Stuff that was that I didn't like about it. So,
There's
are
a
you
lot.
familiar with the concept of Chekhov's gun, the movie concept?
No.
It's the idea of like, don't put anything in your movie, like, don't draw attention to anything that you're not going to use later.
Yes.
So, like, if we were filming a movie and we had a scene where I was like, wow, look, this is my father's gun.
Yeah.
He told me never to use it unless it's an emergency. And I put it back down on a desk.
Sure.
As a viewer, you would go, oh, that's going to come back later. We're going to see that gun used. So in the beginning, the samurai sword was way too obvious of a, hey, this is coming back later. He looks at it directly and then looks away. Well, someone's getting killed with the samurai sword.
Wait, why is that
There,
bad? Why did you think that's bad?
I don't know. I feel like there's maybe it wasn't bad, but it was just way too obvious. I don't know. I feel like it should have been. maybe more of a surprise. I don't know.
Maybe. I mean, you're
I guess
right. They
that's not
kind of like,
necessarily a bad thing, but it just felt way too obvious.
okay,
Um,
that's fair.
this was a weird one. Okay, first off, they don't obey the laws of ammunition at all in this movie.
No.
You see them reload, and this is where. So I watched this with my wife, and she made the funniest joke while we're watching it. I told you before the episode I was going to
Yeah.
tell everyone this joke. So at the one point when he joins up with Eddie, after Eddie defects from the police force, they start sharing ammunition.
Yeah.
And he takes the magazine out of his gun and he goes, "You got any more?" And he goes, "Yeah, I got one magazine left. We're low on ammunition." He puts the gun back in. And she does this impression and goes, "Oh man, I could probably get about 40 shots after this." And like puts the magazine back in. And it was so perfect because he does. He pulls 3 or 4 magazines out of nowhere that he
Yeah.
never picked up on anyone. And they make way too many shots without reloading. So it's expected, but it's still annoying. Uh, there's a lot of unnecessary swearing in this movie.
Oh my gosh, yes.
And the worst part about that was about halfway through, we started an F bomb counter and we gave up counting. But the one scientist, you're better at names than I am. What was her name again?
Molly.
Molly. They're in the elevator and it's something jumps on the roof and she
Yes.
goes, "Holy cow."
Yes.
And I'm like, "Oh, that doesn't seem right." But maybe the actress just didn't want to swear. And then 5 minutes later drops an F bomb. So I was thinking, why are you gonna say "holy cow"
Yeah.
when you're clearly comfortable with swearing? That just felt really ridiculous.
I'm glad you noticed that because I noticed
Yeah.
that too. I was going to bring it up. Yeah, the F bomb's like the only swear word they know throughout this entire
Hmm.
movie. And then like Molly, she's like, "Holy cow, there's something on top of the elevator!"
Yeah.
Like,
Um, the characters are all stupid. They shoot these things at least 20 times every encounter. It
yep,
never works,
nope.
and they keep doing it, and they keep wasting bullets, and they're always like, "Man, we're out of bullets. We're so low on bullets." Then stop shooting it in the chest if it's not working. And then they set up the whole headshot line. One of the guys says to the other Black Ops agent, "Make it a headshot, make it count."
They say that twice. So there's
And then it
once at
comes
the hold
back.
on. So there's once in the beginning of the movie, and then once at the end where they say that.
Yeah, that's what I'm getting
And
to.
yeah, yeah. So
So,
me, sorry, yeah, go ahead.
and when he says at the end, when it comes back at the end, like a callback to the first line, again, another one of those Chekhov's gun setups. And Eddie says, "It's a headshot, make it count." And he shoots it twice in the head. Doesn't make a difference. Why would you set that up?
Yep.
And then the only effective weapon we see used against them are melee weapons, fire extinguisher, beating them with your fists, and the samurai sword. The only things we saw kill them in this movie. Why aren't you picking up more melee weapons? Kevin the janitor had the right idea. He had a mop.
Well, he
That would have
also
been more effective.
yeah, he also had like the flight or freeze, and he definitely froze there and died.
Yeah,
But
he
yeah, sure.
definitely froze. Um, the shaky cam was a bit too much for me. I couldn't follow what was happening half the time. Occasionally it would, you know, lay out and I could figure it out, but
Mm-hmm.
the acting isn't great. They're not terrible, but the interviewer, not the best
Oh my
acting.
gosh, the interviewer lady, she was for a security business. She is so squeamish and
Yeah.
useless. She was my least favorite character.
Um,
Terrible.
I would say best acting of the whole movie, and I might get this wrong, but uh AK, was that his name? The head
The
of the security team that was a jerk. His
the
acting, I'd say,
police
was
team,
the
you mean?
best.
The
Yeah,
police, you
the
mean?
police team. Yeah,
Um, yeah, he was a full-on jerk, and he did the jerk job well.
yeah. So,
I'm actually going to give my best acting to the zombie ninjas.
oh,
I,
okay, yeah,
I think they're the best. I mean, again, they don't act like zombie ninjas, but if you don't think of them as zombie ninjas, they're pretty
mm,
cool. I think they're good. But
yeah, they were interesting. And then this movie ends on a cliffhanger. Nothing gets resolved. So again, spoilers. Stop listening if you're gonna go watch the movie, I guess. Um, Dylan gets presumably killed. Maybe. Who knows? AK's still around doing
No, no, no.
something.
Hold on. The life goes out from his eyes. We watched the life
Does
go
it?
from his
I
eyes.
thought he
Yeah.
got back up right at the end there.
No, he like. I
Okay,
don't think so. I
so he
thought the life left
dies.
his eyes, and Molly's like, yeah.
Okay, so our main hero dies, and then the eyeless giant zombie runs off into the night, and Molly chases after it. What is going on?
Yeah. Somehow the zombie did not kill Molly, which I find surprising. I thought Molly would be like the third person to go in this movie.
Yeah, I did not expect her to be the one to make it out.
Yeah.
So props to them for not taking the easy way out, I guess. But
Sure.
also, don't set up for a sequel. Don't make a sequel.
Yeah.
If it's your passion project, I guess go for it. But this movie was uh
In
the
case it
same
was
with
a
Zombies. When we tried to watch that and there was a sequel, and both of us said, let's not.
yeah. The last movie we watched did it too. What did we watch before? Crap.
For Corpse.
Yeah, yeah, Sniper Corpse. It did the same thing where it just like it left off this like random ending or cliffhanger. It's like, okay,
Yeah.
please don't make a part two.
Yeah, that was the most unsatisfying ending ever.
Yeah. Yeah, it's pretty sad.
For a movie that should have been wrapped up. It wouldn't have been better if it had wrapped itself up, but better ending to this movie would have been, Dylan shoots the guy behind everything
Yeah.
and the zombies all die. Or even if one zombie makes it out, I would have been okay if like we wrap up and Dylan and Molly are walking off together and the last thing you see is one zombie sneak off down the road.
Mm-hmm.
Fine. If you want to do a sequel setup, do it like that. This left me with a feeling of this isn't finished.
Yeah.
You wrapped up nothing and killed off your main character.
I literally threw my hands in the air. I was like, really?
Yeah.
Like, come on.
I expected the credit. I wasn't expecting the credits to roll at that point. I thought maybe we'd see one other thing. Nope.
Yeah.
You see Molly running off into the empty streets after the zombie, and that's it. Roll credits.
All right. Is there anything else that you'd like to mention about this movie, Shane?
Yeah, don't go watch it. We've given you several other B movies
I'm
that are worth watching on our list.
Yeah, go back and listen to those episodes. Is there anything else I want to mention? Like we kind of stated previously, the dialogue really drags this movie down. There's a lot of like
Mhm.
useless dialogue that doesn't really need to happen. So
And
that
I
really
think
that really
I know we
hurt.
don't match up on this opinion, but I think some of the fight scenes could have been cut down. Like they were cool, but at a certain point I was also looking at my phone for half this movie and I looked up and went, are we still fighting?
That's
Like
fair.
get it done with, and all your characters are stupid. Make better choices.
Yeah,
Stop
I would
shooting.
say the fights dragged a little, but I didn't think it
Yeah.
was that overblown. Like
And there were, I think, too many of them.
it's an action movie.
Unpopular
What do you
opinion.
want?
It was the same thing 8 times. Zombie ninjas show up. Everyone tries to shoot them. It doesn't work. They get beat up until they get one lucky hit and the zombie ninja runs off. Rinse and repeat 8 times.
Yeah, okay.
Change it up a bit.
That's
Halfway
fair.
through the movie, they should have armed themselves with makeshift office melee weapons, like AK using the fire extinguisher.
Yeah, that'd be funny. That'd be awesome.
That would have made a better ending.
All right. On to our mini segment of the day. How would Jar Jar Binks make this movie better? And I'm going to start this off if you don't mind.
Yeah, hit us.
I think I have two suggestions. I think either Jar Jar as Kevin the janitor and Kevin lives, or Jar Jar as the security business hirer. Again, I forget her name. I think.
Yeah, I don't think she had a name that mattered.
Yeah, I forgot it. But if he was her, the movie would be so much more memorable. Yeah, he'd eventually die, but the death would be so much more impactful. Oh, then just like, oh, she's dead. Well, she didn't really contribute much anyway.
And
so.
he gets way too angry about her death.
Yeah, that too.
Like they kill her, and if he wants to be mad they killed someone, fine. But he keeps looking at her corpse, and his eyes get like filled with fury and anger. And he just almost kills AK, the other security officer or policeman. Yeah. Like, dude, you just met her. You didn't even get hired. It's okay.
Yeah,
You can be sad she died and get mad at them for killing someone, but you were specifically getting mad that they killed this random woman you just met.
yeah. He was out for like vengeance and blood for someone he barely knew.
Yeah, that was a little odd.
All right, Shaner, your Jar Jar
Okay,
take. Let's go.
I really like Kevin the janitor idea. That's good, but I'm going to say you change the movie up a bit and you make it so you never see the guy in the van out front, the eventual guy that kills Dylan,
Sure.
and you just have the other security guys talking into their headsets and you don't hear the other half of the conversation. And when they get outside, it's Jar Jar. Can you imagine that?
Sith
And
Lord
Jar Jar has a gun. Yeah, and he has a gun. I don't care if he's Sith Lord or not, he has like a normal gun and he shoots them. And then he says something like, I don't know. Yeah, I can't think of a good ending that Misa's the only one who should know and kills everyone.
Misa has to do the job myself. Dylan,
Oh, see, that's
I
better.
you. Bah, 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 bah. I don't know, something like that.
Yeah, something like that. So I'm gonna say Jar Jar should have been the big bad the whole time.
Okay, all right. That's
Or
fair.
maybe the eyeless zombie.
I see. I thought about that, but I thought it'd be too obvious.
Yeah, probably. So I'm gonna go with my original theory then.
All right, that is it. Bops and B-movies, second episode done. Next week, we're going to be back to three people in a blanket fort talking about Star Wars, and we're going to be watching,
Empire Strikes Back.
yeah, Strikes Back.
So get ready for that.
Woo!
Don't forget, you can watch Empire Strikes Back ahead of time if you haven't seen it in a while.
Yeah, that's kind
So
of the
do
fun
a
of
watch
this.
along with us.
Yeah, it's kind of the fun of this. Rewatch it with us, experience old things, notice new things, complain about Disney. You know, that's
And wait for Eddie to say something that the rest of us can mock him for.
I've
Since
been
that's been our common theme.
I've been on a good streak recently.
Yeah, no, you haven't said too much recently that we could meme.
Not too. Do I have to bring that back? I should. Oh, cannibals should eat people legally. You want something like that?
Yeah, with no context, that's a horrible statement. There you go, folks. Eddie believes cannibals should be legal.
Ooh.
That's what he said. Put it on bumper stickers and campaign slogans. Eddie's running for office. Make cannibalism legal again.
Should we include that's a tease for the next history and hypotheticals? Little
Yeah, if you come back for histories and hypotheticals, there's a teaser for you.
Yeah, a little teaser for next episode. All right. Shaner, anything else you'd like to say, comment, criticize? Oh, we gotta rank them. So like where do you put
Okay.
Black Ops and Zombie Ninjas and then Sniper Corps?
So I'm going to put Zombies, Ninjas versus Black Ops above Sniper Corps, only because it was pleasant to look at, visuals wise.
Yeah, much
Sniper
better.
Corps was just, it was bad, but this was still bad, but I enjoyed the watch just a bit more.
That's fair. I'm going to do the same thing. I have a feeling that I'm going to have it higher on my list than you in the future.
Oh,
but we'll
I'm
see.
sure.
We'll see.
And next week, I'll try to find us a B movie that's not zombie themed.
And not F-bomb central.
Yeah, I didn't know that going into this. I didn't expect it from this movie.
Yeah, well,
Hopefully, holy cow. Hopefully, we'll not get some holy cows too.
Oh yeah. That's a real burner.
Yeah, that was intense. My ears started to bleed when I heard that.
Well, that's why we watch them for you guys, so that you don't have to.
Yeah,
I think you were curious in the first place, but now you might be curious.
Yeah, don't watch this.
All right, everyone. Thank you for listening. Thank you for 500 views, lifetime with
Yeah,
Dale.
thank you.
Thank you
Thanks
so
for those that have been here forever and those that are new.
And see y'all in 2 weeks.
2 weeks.
Bye.
See ya.